Good morning, Silver and Black Nation, and welcome to the Silver and Black Lair. I'm your host, the Bat Frie Kenny Frie. Thirsty Thursday in the house. Let's go. Hope everybody's doing well out there. Creeping up on Christmas. Jolly old St. Nick's going to squeeze his fat ass down the chimney any day now. There we go. It's rocking and rolling. I can't believe this year is almost over. I can't believe the football season's almost over when you look at it. So let's go ahead and roll ahead here and talk a little bit of Las Vegas Raider football here. If you want to call it football, I don't know. A form of football, I guess. We'll talk Raiders versus Vikings first. Just a quick programming note before I get too far along. I'll repeat again later on. But I'll be on tomorrow as well. So the only reason I'm on today is because the Raiders play tonight, Thursday night. So you have Thursday night football. So I figured, you know what? Great chance to do a pregame. And then tomorrow I'll do a postgame and LA Kings talk. Today's just a pregame. Talk about the Raiders versus Vikings. Then a pregame for the Raiders Chargers, the Los Angeles Chargers of San Diego. And go from there. And like I said, tomorrow we'll do the post game. I'll talk LA Kings hockey. A little bit of a struggle there, but we'll talk about that tomorrow. Tomorrow's another day. Today's Thirsty Thursday. This is what we're gonna do. Like I said, jolly old St. Nick starting to rub his fat ass down the chimney here. We got to get it rolling. So the Raiders lose 3-0. An abomination of a game offensively. This game set offensive football back decades to come. No doubt. Decades. I'm telling you. It wasn't quite that bad. I've seen worse. But Raider-wise, they did move the ball a little bit through the air. Not a whole lot, obviously. It was disgusting. Fortunately, I did not watch this game. I did watch the fourth quarter, but the majority of the game I was out with my old man, Pappy Fry, Christmas shopping for the kiddos. And so fortunately, I was spared the atrocity that was on TV. I kept checking the score. I kept refreshing, like, something's not right. Something's wrong with ESPN here. It's not giving me the correct score. 0-0, 0-0, 0-0. It's like, come on. So this is ridiculous. And, seeing what Josh Dobbs was doing on offense for the Vikings, I don't know. That was really bad. And the one unfortunate thing that I kind of put a damper on it for me for the defense. The defense only gave up 3 points. Played outstanding. You couldn't ask for a better performance except for 0. That's the best you could ask for. But when Nick Mullins did come in, he seemed to move the ball through the air pretty well. Not with ease, but much better than what Dobbs did, and he was able to get up and down the field good enough to get that 3 points. And Dobbs played 3/4 of the game, the first, second, and third quarter, and Nick Mullins had more yards passing in that 1 quarter of play than what Josh Dobbs had the whole game. And I think in half the passes as well. So a bit of a bummer there with the defense, but you can't really harp on that too much. It was a fantastic showing by the defense. And there it is. Good morning, Eileen. It's Thirsty Thursday. It is a nice Thursday treat. Like I said, Raiders are playing tonight for perfect time to hop on and do a pregame, a postgame of the Viking show, but a pregame of the Chargers tonight. That tomorrow I'll be on also again with a postgame from tonight's game, LA Kings talking, plus a top 10 list of my favorite Christmas movies, which I've already done in the past, but it's, I'm not going to go back and look, see what I remember, because I'm going to let my brain tell me what my favorite Christmas movies are. I'm sure it's going to be different than the old episode, but it'll be interesting either way. There's going to be some surprises on there like there usually is. So I did have some notes down. The offense was, like I said, putrid. Aiden O'Connell, 21 of 32, 171 yards. That interception coming up second to last possession, which pretty much sealed the game. The Raiders did get it back one more time, but I think no timeouts. They threw it, and there's a bunch of laterals, and that actually was the only fumble of the game as well. No, there was Hunter Renfrow also fumbled in the game in the red zone. Of all the freaking places of a game, where nobody's scoring, you fumble it in the red zone. You're criminy. He was sacked 4 times. He's under pressure a lot more than that. The offensive line's in shambles right now, so you can't really blame Aiden O'Connell totally for this menagerie of maniacal nonsense. I don't know what to say. I'm trying to think of funny words to put to it, and there's nothing funny about it. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not sure if this is all on Aiden O'Connell, the offensive line. Bo Hardegree being a rookie play caller. I mean, again, I didn't watch the game. I watched the fourth quarter. I didn't watch the whole game, but from everything that I've heard, I've read, I called quite a few screen passes. Nothing was working, and we didn't run the ball all that often either. So it's a 3-0 game, and Aiden O'Connell threw the ball 32 times. So you were never out of the game. So why are we throwing it 32 times with the rookie quarterback that's getting hit all the time? I don't understand it, but I understand using the passing game as a means of supplementing a run game. But if it's not working, you got to figure something else. You got to run the ball. Consistently run the ball. Josh Jacobs, I think, only had 13 carries for 34 yards. That's not going to get it done. Josh Jacobs said, Antonio Pierce said, both these guys said when Antonio Pierce took over, said we got to get Josh Jacobs the ball 20 to 25 times, and that's either through the air or on the ground. And it's not happening. The last couple of weeks where we've been struggling offensively. Well, we've been struggling offensively all season. But we've lost the last couple games. We haven't been getting the ball to Josh Jacobs. Now, granted, it's hard to get the ball to him when he's only getting 1 yard, 2 yards a carry, but he does break one, 8 yards, 1 yard, 2 yards, 7 yards, -1 yard, 2 yards, 5 yards. I mean, stuff like that. You can't go all 3 downs, but a consistent running game keeps the defense honest, where they can't just keep stacking up and blitzing or going to coverages and stuff like that. They have to stack 8 in the box. And it get some one-on-one matchups, but we're not doing it consistently. So why would anybody respect the run game if you're not consistently running the damn ball? So it's the same old story week in and week out. Devontae Adams, 7 catches, 53 yards, 10 targets. He was all pissy after the game. He went off the field and didn't speak to the media. He went storming off. I get it. I get it. He's used to a lot better than what this is, and even last season it was much better for. Obviously, he set career highs in I think receptions and receiving yards last season with Derek Carr mostly at the quarterback position. So, the way this year went, I mean, it's like it's a kick in the balls for him. It has to be. One of the great receivers of all time. Just. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with him in the offseason. Is this going to be one of those things where, he asks to be traded and the Raiders, comply and they trade him for some draft capital or players or whatever? We'll have to wait and see. I mean, my thought is if he asks to be traded, trade him. If he doesn't ask, he wants to stay around, keep him. I mean, it doesn't hurt to have a Devontae Adams around. I mean, he could get you some decent picks. But we know how the Raiders do with their picks. Usually they do pretty crappy job. Sometimes the later rounds they do pretty well, but usually the Raiders do a pretty crappy job through the draft, as you can see from the last 20-plus seasons. So Hunter Renfrow, 3 catches, 46 yards. Not terrible. The biggest play was that lost fumble. I think it was in the red zone. I think it was like the 12-yard line or something like that, or it was inside the 12-yard, wherever it was. It was in the red zone where points are at a premium. Need to hold on to that ball. It wasn't a great pass for him to catch. I think it was behind him, kind of reaching back. I think he had a bit of a spin or a pivot and just got it knocked loose. And just bad luck, I guess. I guess you'd call it bad luck, but it's a Raider thing, I guess. I don't know. Jacoby Myers, 5 catches, 25 yards, and that's not a very good average for a wide receiver. And here's the other thing that really gets under my skin. Michael Mayer, 1 catch for 14 yards, only 2 targets. What are we doing? You draft this guy high. I think did we move ahead in the draft to get him? I believe so, in the second round. And, if by all means, a lot of people had him high on the draft board and as a first-round tight end. and we get him, to fall into our lap in the second round, and we're not even going to throw him the damn ball. I mean, that's ridiculous. Is he not ready? I don't understand. I don't understand what's going on with the tight end position. This guy could be a game changer. He could be an absolute game changer. Get the pressure off Aiden O'Connell. Nice little outlet guy, a security blanket or safety blanket, whatever the hell you want to call it. But they're not using him. They are not using this guy. They're not using any tight end. Austin Hooper, he only had one. I think he had one catch and only 2 targets or 1 target. It's ridiculous. So just take the tight end off the goddamn field then. Put an extra offensive lineman on the end of the line and go from there. If you're not going to throw your tight end, just take him off the field. Take him off the field. It's ridiculous. It doesn't make sense to me. Hey, there he is, the showstopper, the heartbreak kid, Cowboy Dave Yarnell. What's going on, Cowboy Dave? He says, what's going on, big man? I see your Raiders are a 3-point favorite against the Chargers tonight. Can they get a win tonight? Yes, they can, Dave. Yes, they can. If they follow my simple keys to victory, I'll talk about later on. They can get a victory. So we'll talk about that in a few minutes once I get through the rest of the debacle that was this past Sunday. And debacle is a clean version of the words that I want to use. All right, yeah. So we got the score there. So yeah, it's a lot of quite a few screens. I don't think they're using the tight end position correctly. Again, Bo Hardigree, not a seasoned play caller. This is his first time calling plays, and he's doing a shit job of it. He pretty much called plays to get his ass out of the NFL. That's if anything, he should be back at a quarterback coach, or he should be back like a offensive quality check guy, you know what I mean? Quality control, offensive quality controller, or something like that. So the guy that marks down plays now, he shouldn't be allowed to call anything anymore. And that's it. It's Antonio Pierce. I mean, I don't. What do you say about Antonio Pierce? Came out like a ball of fire. Everybody was all hype on him. Great. He's from Crenshaw or Compton or somewhere. I don't know, somewhere in California, close to Los Angeles. So we were all crunking over that, but it's ridiculous. It's not all on him. The defense is playing great. A lot of these players are playing inspired for him, but you got to make some tough decisions. I mean, with the play calling that's been going on for these last few weeks, maybe we say Bo Hardigree, step aside and let somebody else call some plays here. I'm sure he can set up a decent offense, but calling plays is not the guy's game. Obviously, calling plays is not this man's game. Have somebody else call the play. I don't give a shit who you have calling the plays. It can't be Bo Hardigree. It has to be somebody else. You can't have him calling plays moving forward for the rest of the season. I mean, if you want the job as a Las Vegas Raiders coach, you got to change something. You got to make those hard decisions. You got to change something. I get it that he's already Bo Hardigree's already an interim offensive coordinator. Who gives a shit? You're coaching. You're an interim head coach. You're auditioning to be a head coach, if not for the Las Vegas Raiders, maybe for another team. And it's not going well right now. You need to make some tough decisions. This game against the Vikings, one of the tough decisions, could have been, should they have benched Aiden O'Connell and brought Jimmy G back in? I mean, I want to see Aiden O'Connell succeed. I don't want Jimmy G at quarterback anymore. But that being said, a 3-0 game, a 0-0 game, a 0-0 game. The Vikings made the tough call. They got Josh Dobbs out of there, and they brought in Nick Mullins, and he gave him a spark. It got him that 3 points. I mean, if you bring Jimmy G in for the fourth quarter, it's not like you're giving him the job. It's you're looking for a spark. You're looking for anything. And I understand that Jimmy G's contract is one where, kind of like what Derek Carr's was last season. When Derek Carr was benched, they sent him home. They told him not to leave his house, at all. Wrap him in bubble wrap. Don't leave the house. Don't pick up a football. Don't watch football. Just stay away from any kind of football activity. And so if he got hurt, if Derek Carr got hurt last season, the Raiders would have owed him, X amount of money, a lot of money. It's the same thing with Jimmy G. If Jimmy G would to get hurt before the end of the season and miss time, I think was it the missed time, or if he got hurt, is it something like if he got injured by the end of the season and he doesn't finish the season or something like that, then the Raiders would owe him a bunch of money, a significant amount of money. I don't know if it's like $14 million or something, or $11 million. I don't know. I'm not sure. But I understand then keeping him on the bench, saying, hey, listen, we can't have your ass out there because you get hurt a lot. A lot. The man gets hurt a lot. And you got to do something, though. And it can't be Hoyer. It can't be Brian Hoyer or whatever his name is. It has to be Jimmy G. They should have brought him in the fourth quarter to see if they could spark it, and then go from there. If that means starting Aiden O'Connell again on Thursday night, start him again. Who gives a shit? But yet that win was right there for him. But my thought now is that was the season. That was the season right there. Not that I had any hopes of the Raiders making the playoffs or making a playoff run or a push or whatever. But I felt really good, really positive that they could win at least the next 4 out of 5 games. And that would have put the Raiders at 10. It was 10-7. Or something like that. It would have put them at 9-8. It would have put them at 9-8. They're 5-8 right now. And a chance. There's a chance for playoffs, but it's 9-8 is respectable. Now we're playing for draft positioning, which we've been doing for 20 years now. So it's very frustrating. One positive. There's quite a few positives. Like I said, from the defense, the Monkey Cold Coffee Player of the Game was Max Crosby, and I'll tell you what, man. Every week he could be the Monkey Cold Coffee Player of the Game, Max Crosby. But I like to mix it up. But this past game came out balling. Tied for the team lead in tackles, 10 tackles, 7 solo tackles, two more sacks. That puts him at 13.5, I think. He's in third right now for sacks. Khalil Mack is leading the league in sacks with 15 or 16, and that's what we'll be seeing tonight. And he also had 3 tackles for losses, 4 quarterback hits. Unbelievable game by Max. Unbelievable. He was all over the place. So he's our Monkey Cold Coffee Player of the Game. Robert Spillane, he had another great game. 10 tackles, 7 solo, 1 sack, 2 tackles for loss. Real quick, I got a comment here. There we go. There's our boy, the mayor of Las Vegas. Vegas, Rob Hefner. What's going on, buddy? How you doing? Good morning out there in Vegas. What is it, like 7 a.m. or 7? I guess it would be 7. What time is it? I don't even know what time it is right now. It's right now it's 10:18, so it's 7:18 out there. Rob says, who would have thought that the Raiders would have played a better defensive game? The defense has been really, really good this year. Now, they've played well this year. There's points where they've been good. There's points where they've been bad. So he doesn't see O'Connell as the quarterback of the future. I don't either, Rob. That game against the Vikings pretty much sealed it for me. But again, you can't put it all on Aiden O'Connell. He's out there with an offensive coordinator that's never called plays before. He's never been an offensive coordinator. And I don't think he's ever been an offensive. He shouldn't have been an offensive coordinator anymore. Maybe that's why he was available to be a Raider coach. Maybe he was an offensive coordinator, got his ass fired. Now he's in the silver and black. But anyway, the interim offensive coordinator, interim head coach, crazy injuries on the offensive line. The offensive line playing like garbage, no run game. I mean, is it really all on Aiden O'Connell? There are some plays that he does are really nice. There are some plays that he has that are really bad. But I don't think he's a franchise quarterback. I don't think he'll be a starting quarterback. He could be one of those quarterbacks like a Matt Flynn type quarterback where he hops in for a game or a couple games and lights it up, and everybody thinks he's great, but he's really just okay. He's serviceable. I can see Aiden O'Connell being that kind of quarterback. A serviceable quarterback where if your starting quarterback gets hurt, he can come in and you won't miss a beat, or you get an extra added spark out of it for a couple drives or a game or 2 games or whatever you need. And but I don't see him as the quarterback of the future at all. No, I agree with you, Rob. So yeah, and another one, Tyree Wilson, the defense, our first round draft pick this past season. I don't remember what pick number it was, but this was his best game of the season. I think hands down, this was probably his best game of the season. 4 tackles, 3 solo, 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss, 2 quarterback hits, I believe, a bunch of hurries. And so what they did with Tyree Wilson is they had him rushing on the outside, but they also put him in the interior of the defensive line and had him rushing there. And he got some decent pressure up the middle. So, I mean, I'd expect the Raiders to do a little bit more of that tonight, move Tyree Wilson around and use him different ways like that. It seems to be working for him. And that's somebody through multiple podcasts I listened to about the Raiders. Tyree Wilson, from the coaching staff's point of view, is coming along slower than they would have liked, but they feel like he's coming around and he's going to be a really good player. So that's encouraging. Like when you have your first round draft pick, you want him starting day one. You want him being impactful day one. And if that doesn't happen, you're kind of like, oh, man, he's not a bust, but it's a bummer. But seeing him coming around kind of like relieves that a little bit. If he comes back next season and has, a 10-sack season, nobody's going to blink that. Nobody's going to bat an eye at it. They're say, okay, that's the Tyree Wilson we all expected. Great to see. So, I think it's he's off to a good start right now, this back half of the season with that sack against the Vikings. And he's been playing better as of late. Now we just need to get Byron Young in, defensive tackle, and Nesta J. Silvera in, and, Amari Burney in a little bit more, a couple other draft picks from this past season on defense, see what they can do. Byron Young, he's only played a few snaps this season. Nesta J. Silvera, he's only played a couple snaps. One I only remember him playing 1 snap, but I'm not sure if he played any more than that. And he got hurt on that snap. He made a decent play, but got hurt. So, Stacy, good morning, Stacy. You can check Stacy out Sunday mornings, 11 a.m. on the Big Blue Power Hour. Talking New York Giant football. Hey, that's a matzo ball. Danny DeVito, the Penguin. That's a matzo ball. If anybody doesn't know what I'm talking about, DeVito, what's his name? Tommy DeVito is the backup quarterback there. The Giants, he's the starter right now because the injury to Danny Dimes. So, you got old Tommy DeVito making a name for himself, and you got the whole Italian hand thing happening there. Hey, a matzo ball, rigatoni. She says Tommy Cutlets. Yeah, I don't know what that's about, but I've been hearing a lot of that. Tommy Cutlets. I'm not sure. I have to look for a deeper dive into Tommy Cutlets. I'm not sure what that means, but I'm hearing it. Especially through our Out of the Box Sports host chat. That's seen it, and I don't understand it. Rob says, I feel like I got ran over by a truck. Hope it's not the flu and need some Boilo. I'll tell you what, Rob, if you have the flu, the Boilo would kick that shit right away. And unfortunately, out there in Las Vegas, good luck getting some good old fresh homemade Boilo. I mean, I'm sure there's some skooks out there making some Boilo. I'm sure they got the liquor for it and all that other stuff, but if you don't know what good old cold cracker Boilo is, you guys are missing out. Eileen also says Tommy Cutlets. The Cutlets. It's awesome. I love it when a player like that has like a character along with good play. I love it. That's good stuff. Tommy DeVito. You gotta have some swagger to you. It's good stuff. Josh Jacobs was injured against the Vikings. Not sure if he's going to play tonight. He was listed as questionable as of yesterday. I don't think he's practiced at all this week, which, it's not a huge surprise this part of the season. Guys are banged up. They don't practice. So we'll see. We'll have to wait to see what's up with him. He went out, I think it was in the third or fourth quarter. I'm not sure. And, hopefully he's all right. Hopefully he does play. If not, I'm really interested to see what Zamir White can do. Hopefully, if he doesn't play, they give the ball to Zamir White and not Amir Abdullah. Not that Amir Abdullah can't do it. I want to see Zamir White run the goddamn ball. I want to, he's only had, I think, 20 carries for the season. Give the guy a ball. Give it to him. Let him run with it. That's what he does. He runs. He's a running back. Let him run. It's criminy. A couple more comments before I move on to the old Chargers. We got Stacy saying his agent has some character. Yeah, I seen the dude look like a mob hitman there on the sideline with the old hat and the dark sunglasses, wearing black, and talking on the cell phone. And man, I'll tell you what, that would have made me nervous if I was like some sideline reporters talking shit on Tommy DeVito, like he's calling a hit on me, straight out of The Sopranos or something or whatever. It's that his whole group. It's fantastic. Like living with his mother or something. I don't know what's going on with Tommy DeVito. I just know he does the hand thing, and I want to yell Italian stuff right away. Chef Boyardee. I don't know what it is. I like it. Hey, there he is, Paul Spencer. What's up, buddy? DeVito's agent is so cool and can be scary at the same time. It's like dealing with the mafia. Yeah, it's really neat. I love it. It's like this could be a wrestling gimmick. It really could be. Yeah, the Italian guy coming down with the mob boss and stuff. The Don, you got to kiss him on the cheek and stuff like that before you go in and wrestle. Or that could be like the finishing move in wrestling. He gives him the kiss of death on the cheek, and then like Bray Wyatt used to give the kiss before Sister Abigail. Except this would be a mob hit. So good stuff. Good stuff. Eileen says she almost Smith out her Oreo cookie. Oh, don't Smith it out. On fire today. Let's go. Stacy's laughing at the hijinks here right now. All right, so let's move on to the Chargers, which hopefully we can get some more points tonight. We'll see what happens. No guarantees here. I tell you that. Raiders sit at 5-8. Chargers sitting at 5-8. Both teams going the same direction. Ass pointed that way and going that way. Chargers backup quarterback, Easton Stick, I believe it is. No, it can't be right. I wrote it down. That doesn't sound right. I'm pretty sure it is. It's Easton. It's Easton something or other. I think it's Easton Stick, and that sounds like it's made up. That sounds like a fake name somebody gives at a hotel. But anyway, no Keenan Allen tonight. Justin Herbert's out for the season. Broken fingers on each hand. I think Tommy DeVito's agent got a hold of him. Broken fingers on each hand. So he's walking around with busted thumbs and stuff. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable what's going on in the NFL right now. No Colton Miller for the Raiders tonight as of right now. No Andre James. So a couple more injuries to the offensive line. That's huge. Colton Miller dealing with that shoulder injury. He's missed a couple games. I think he came back for a couple series against the Queefs. I'm not sure. But the last two games he's been out. And he came back for a couple series against the Queefs. He was out before the Queefs, and then they had the bye, and he was still out against the Vikings. So Colton Miller really struggling right now. To be honest with you, an offensive lineman, I just shut Colton Miller down for the rest of the season. Let him heal up and come back next season. He's easily our best offensive lineman and probably one of the better offensive tackles in the league. He does a great job. Andre James, the center for the Raiders. That's how I feel about Andre James. I wouldn't be shocked if the Raiders won't look at another center or permanently move Dylan Parham to center, but we'll see what happens there. So I expect Dylan Parham to start at center. Thayer Mumford maybe move him over to left tackle, right tackle. Who the hell knows? Justin Herron, Brandon Parker. I mean, for the love of Christ, Brandon Parker's back. Oh man, that was a shit show last time he was here. I don't know why the hell you bring the shit show back. And Jermaine Ulemanor, I expect him to play some guard, maybe some tackle. We'll see. There's going to be a lot of jumbling tonight on the offensive line, which is not good. The last time we played the Chargers, Khalil Mack, I think, had 6 sacks. And he leads the league. Like I said, he leads the league in sacks at 15 or 16. And the majority of his production on sacks came against the Raiders. So I think I heard a stat where the 3 games he's played against the Raiders since leaving, he's had 9 sacks against them. So that's not good at all. That's not good for anybody. That's not good for anybody in silver and black. For the stupid blue, whatever they wear in San Diego, Los Angeles, the stupid blue and yellow, whatever that is, powder blue, baby blue, smack ass blue. I don't know. I don't know what it is. That's what they wear. Just Josh Jacobs, like I said, is questionable for this. If he doesn't play, hopefully it's a healthy dose of Zamir White. Even if he does play, I think they should really balance it out between he and Zamir White, knowing that Josh Jacobs is banged up on a short week. Maybe limit his load a little bit because he should have a load. He should be. They should get a lot of carries. As a team, we should get a lot of runs. The running game as a whole should get a lot of carries tonight. That's what I'm trying to spit out right now. The running game as a whole should get quite a few carries. And hopefully it's not all just Josh Jacobs. I want to see Zamir White. I want to see what he can do. If he can't do it, let's start looking at other options, because if I'm Josh Jacobs, I'm not coming back to this next year unless the Raiders decide to franchise tag him again and go through the whole thing we went through this year. I don't know. Besides that, Max listed as questionable. I expect him to play. Devontae Adams listed as questionable for illness. I expect him to play, but we'll see what happens. Again, we won't know until probably an hour or two before the start of the game what the full list of inactives are. That's usually what happens. So let's move on to my keys to victory. So if the Raiders follow this step by step, no dilly-dallying, no straying away, step by step, they follow this, it's a win. Easy. You got the W, go home. The Chargers go back to San Diego, Los Angeles, and cry in their glittered pillows, which I assume they all have. I assume they use glittered pillows in San Diego and Los Angeles. I'm not sure, though. I've never been there. That could be wrong. So keys to victory: don't let Easton Stick breathe. It's a young quarter. It's a rookie. I don't know if he's a rookie or not, but I think he's a rookie. Inexperienced. So get pressure on him. If that means blitzing or whatever, pressure. Unleash Max. Say Max, go for it. Whatever happens, happens. But keep pressure on him. Keep pressure on him. Don't let him breathe. Show him different looks in the secondary if you have to. Play tight. Make him throw in the tight windows. Make him throw perfect throws. Austin Eckler. He hasn't been himself all season, but he's still Austin freaking Eckler. He seems to kill the Raiders. When we played against them the first time this season, I don't remember hearing his name an awful lot. He might have been injured, though. From what I remember, he might have been banged up, or he might not even have played. So, but if history tells us anything, he's been a thorn in our side. So you got to clamp down on that. Don't let him beat you. Don't let Austin Eckler beat you because you're focusing on Easton freaking Stick. And we still struggle against the run. So, I mean, that's one of those things where what way to ease a rookie quarterback or a young quarterback into a game than to run the ball down somebody's throat. And, as well as our defense has played this season, it can happen. So let's stop that run and make them pass the ball. Make them throw the ball. Make it hard for Easton Stick to no easy completions. No easy completions, what I'm trying to say. On the other side of the ball, offensive side, please. I'm not going to use the F word. I wrote in my notes. I write notes because if I don't have notes, I lose track. Like you see, a couple times I lost track because I jumped around in the notes. Like, oh shit, where am I? But if I don't have notes, I did one show without notes. I lose track of what I was doing, what I was saying, and like, oh man, and I'm in a deep end then, and I can't swim, so I'm like this. I'm like, oh my god, help me! I'm drowning. the water's up to here, and people are yelling, "It's only 6 inches of water, Ken." I'm like, "No, I'm drowning. You can still drown in 6 inches of water." They're like, "Yeah, I know, but still, if you just roll over, you're fine." That's what it felt like. So anyway, please block freaking Khalil Mack. Block him. The last time we didn't block him. Granted, now it was first start for Aiden O'Connell, and he held on to the ball an awful long time sometimes. There was times where he had time, but there was quite a few times where he just dropped back and he was like a statue. The dude cannot run. He got some spindly legs on him. He's a weird-shaped looking man. I'm okay with saying that too, because I'm oddly shaped as well, but not like that. I got some calves to me, and some thick legs and an ass to boot, but he doesn't have any of that stuff. So he's very odd looking. So yeah, please block Khalil Mack. Get Michael Mayer involved. Throw the kid from Notre Dame. Throw him the ball, please, more than 3 times. Throw it to him 8, 9, 10 times. I don't give a shit. Throw him the ball. Get it to him. Let him do his thing. Make them cover him. If we're only giving him 2 targets a game, it's a wasted second round pick right there. If you ask me, that's a wasted second round pick on a top flight tight end. If you're not going to throw him the ball, keep Hunter Renfrow involved as well. He did have a big fumble against the Vikings. Keep him involved. It seems like since Antonio Pierce has taken over, he's the offense. Bo Hardery's offense has kept Hunter involved. He's been getting at least 5 targets or more per game. Whereas with Josh McDaniels, there's a couple games where he didn't get any or 1 target. So he's been more involved. He's been making plays. He's been making some big plays at times too. So keep Hunter Renfrow involved. Keep him interested. Maybe even throw Trey Tucker a ball or 2. It's something I've been screaming from the mountaintops since week 1. Since I've seen him play week 1. So week 2, give that man the ball. He's a playmaker. He's a game breaker. Don't seem to do that often. So, run the ball consistently. Hand it off as much as you can to either Josh Jacobs, Amir White, Amir Abdullah, and go play action pass off of that. I mean, it's a perfect tool right there for an overly aggressive defense. Play action pass, get the ball out quick. Make a old spindly legs Aiden O'Connell move a little bit, make him roll out, throw the ball on the run, or whatever you want to call it that he does. I don't know if I call it running. It'd be like a daddy long leg spider in the wind or something. I don't know. So yeah, offensively, those are my keys to the game. Defensively, I gave you my keys to the game. And if the Raiders follow those keys to victory, we will be coming out with the W tonight. If they stray even a little bit, it's not gonna be good. A quick note on Robert Spillane. He's already set career marks in tackles, solo tackles, sacks, and interceptions. The dude has been a godsend. I'll tell you what. When the Raiders first signed him, he was just a backup linebacker for the Steelers. I was like, all right, great, fantastic. We have a linebacking group that's young and not very good. And then we're going to bring this guy in. What's he going to do? And he's just been awesome. But far and away, our best linebacker. Divine Diablo has also had a very good season, which I'm a big Divine Diablo fan. But Robert Spillane has been awesome. He should be in the Pro Bowl this year, and no doubt in my mind that he should be co-defensive MVP for the team this year. Max Crosby sitting at 13.5 sacks. That's his career high. And he's sitting at 76 tackles. I think he's 14 tackles away from a career mark there. So he's having another terrific season. Said he really wanted to be Defensive Player of the Year. Don't see that happening this year. There's been a lot of great defensive play, especially Khalil Mack with his sack lead and stuff. But that's not gonna get it. I think the lad from the Dallas Cowboys that has the 5 pick 6s or whatever. I'm sure he's probably in the running for it. The Dallas defense, in general, gets a lot of takeovers, turnovers, takeaways. That's what I'm trying to say. Oh, I could use a turnover, like an apple turnover, like a cherry turnover, something like that. That'd be awesome. So yeah, I just wanted to toss those notes out about those two guys. Just both those guys have been are easily our best defensive players this season. So moving on to the Jay Feinwall defensive player to watch tonight for the Las Vegas Raiders. Tyree Wilson, like I said earlier, had a pretty good game. Probably his best game of the season against the Vikings, where they had him on the outside rushing. They also brought him into the inside for a good portion of the game. They were rotating him back and forth. I really like that. I like that thought. I like that idea for him. Get him involved. And, the Raiders already get okay pressure up the middle with like Adam Butler and stuff. But with Tyree Wilson there, I think it could take it up to another level. So continue moving him around, and he's playing better. He's played better the last couple games. So I feel like finally Tyree Wilson is starting to come around a little bit. Maybe he's not at that first round pick caliber that he was, but again, started the season on injury too, so that kind of hampered it a little bit. But so he's our defensive player to watch for tonight. We got a comment here real quick. Brother John, Mr. Alabama. John, how do you feel that Alabama has made the playoffs again? What were your thoughts when you seen the Georgia Bulldogs crying, ooh, we only lost one game and we're in the SEC, ooh, and the Florida State Seminoles, with their little chop, oh, we're undefeated, but we played against the 60th, we had the 60th ranked schedule, but we're undefeated. What were your thoughts when you saw those guys crying and, now suing the NCAA and stuff like that? Were you like, yep, roll tide, or what? Your thoughts? I'm just curious in your thoughts. And also go 49ers, right? So, yeah, so Brother John has a couple pretty good football teams there, the 49ers and the Alabama Crimson Tide. But he makes up for it in baseball because he roots for the Las Vegas Oakland Athletics, or the Oakland Las Vegas Athletics, or the Oakland Athletics of Las Vegas, or the Las Vegas Athletics of Oakland. However you want to say it, I don't give a shit. All right. So moving on to the out-of-the-box sports entertainment offensive player to watch for tonight's game, Aiden O'Connell. Is he going to step up? Is Bo Hardery going to give him a chance with some decent play calls and stuff? Is the offensive line going to give him time? So if I feel like tonight, if Aiden O'Connell is struggling at halftime, I would not be shocked. I would not be surprised at all if we seen Mr. GQ himself, Jimmy Garoppolo, at halftime. At halftime, you're going to see him after halftime in the starting lineup. So if Aiden O'Connell's struggling, I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Antonio Pierce went to Jimmy G to give that spark, a little bit more competent quarterback. And, well, a little bit, not much, because through 6 starts, for each guy, pretty identical numbers. So, that's not really inspirational or nothing, but it is what it is. I guess that's what we got going on here in Las Vegas, Raiderland. So hopefully, I'm hoping that Aiden O'Connell comes out and plays good. He doesn't have to play great to beat the Chargers. He didn't play great the first time when we almost beat the Chargers. He should have beat the Chargers. A couple moronic play calls by McDummy. Especially, we got the ball down. I think it was inside the 10-yard line, and I don't remember how much time was on the clock. But instead of running the ball, which we were doing well, that quarter actually, I think it was the fourth quarter, we were running the ball well. He decided to throw a pass right away, and it was an interception. Again, that's Aiden's fault. He should not throw that interception. But why are we throwing the ball first and goal? I don't understand it. Especially, we were owning the line of scrimmage. We were pushing them around. It would have been nice to see, maybe a run, maybe a pass in, or a run pass, kick the field goal. But no, throw an interception, and that's where we're at. So let's watch Aiden O'Connell, see what happens tonight. Hopefully it's all positive for him, just for his sake, because you want to see him get a little bit of confidence and go from there. I want to see the kid sling the ball. I want to see him throw it downfield. I want to see him throw, some good medium routes, some routes like 10 to 15 yard routes, and then take some shots 20 yards downfield. Not all, 5-yard pass, 5-yard pass, 2-yard pass, behind the line of scrimmage passes. I can't stand it. Brother John says, my thought was roll Tide. Roll the Bulldog. Fans are crying like Cowboy fans. Cowboy fans aren't crying right now, Johnny. Cowboy fans aren't crying. They're very excited because they just laid a smackdown on the Eagles there. So there's I know there's a bunch of Kelly Green fans walking around crying. The Eagle fans after that spanking, the beatdown that they received at the hands of the Cowboys. So, and the 49ers, to be honest with you, back-to-back weeks of getting their peckers smacked, that doesn't feel good. I mean, unless that's your job. But, who am I to judge? All right, prediction for tonight's game. I'm predicting a Raiders win, of course, 24-13. I feel like the Raiders are going to jump out early. They're going to hold the lead. They extend it. Chargers make a little push at the end, but the Raiders eventually do hold on. I think Max Crosby, I think he's going to have a couple, another sack or two sacks. I feel like Tyree Wilson is going to have at least one sack tonight, and I think the Raiders defense is going to have one or two interceptions. So there's going to be a couple turnovers. I feel like Aiden O'Connell is going to have a good game, and Josh Jacobs and Zamir White hopefully are sharing the workload. So 24-13, I have the Raiders winning tonight. Let me know your thoughts. I'm going to go ahead and do our sponsor reads here real quick before I get the hell out of here and go to bed. So I'll start off with Jason Fine. Jay Fine Law, Jason Fine attorney, Big Al. You can reach Big Al at 1-800-HURT-123. That's 1-800-HURT-123. Jason Fine specializes in motor vehicle accidents, slip and falls, and workman's comp, and also personal injury claims. He has 3 office locations conveniently located throughout Pennsylvania and New Jersey. First in the Garden State of New Jersey, the offices are located in Cherry Hill, 3 Greensward Lane, and the phone number there is 856-209-5258. Once again, the phone number for the Cherry Hill office is 856-209-5258. Then in the Steel City of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the offices are located at 500 Grant Street, Suite 2900. The phone number there is 412-365-8151. And then in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the offices are located at 1628 JFK Boulevard, Suite 2120. The phone number there is 267-888-2980. Jason Fine, attorney, Big Al. And after you get all your legal needs taken care of by Mr. Big Al there, Jason Fine, head on over to monkeycoldcoffee.com and get yourself some caffeine relief there. They got bourbon chocolate chip infused coffee, toasted coconut rum, and a Sumatran blend medium roast coffee in whole or ground form, in whole bean or ground form. One of their newer blends, the organic blend, Perula, Florida. That comes also in whole bean or ground. That's part of their Global Gourmet collection. They also just released a newer flavor of coffee. That's a honey infused agave coffee. Sounds terrific. I can't wait to try that. I'm a honey guy. And it gives me a bit of the rumbly tumblies, but you know what? It's worth it. I think it's worth it. Sometimes there's, like ice cream. That gives me a bellyache, but it's worth the bellyache. I figure, you know what? I'm going to eat the ice cream and I'll deal with the bellyache later. So, I like Honey Nut Cheerios. I eat the Honey Nut Cheerios. The Honey Nut Cheerios gives me a bellyache, but you know what? I deal with it later. And it is what it is. So after you get your coffee, head on over to the swag shop and get yourself some merchandise. We got the coffee mugs, Monkey Cold Coffee tumblers. The T-shirts look pretty sweet. They also have the cold brew pitchers, which I do have. Very easy and convenient if you like cold brew coffee. Also the K-Cup adapters. And don't forget Paradise Rum Cake at monkeycoldcoffee.com. So get all that stuff in your little virtual shopping cart and head on over to the checkout. And at checkout, enter the promo code OOTB Sports. That's OOTB Sports for 10% off your order at monkeycoldcoffee.com. Love Monkey Cold Coffee. If Monkey Cold Coffee had stock, I would buy stock in Monkey Cold Coffee. And I'm not even shitting you. I'm not even joking around. It is 100% serious. Ken Frie, not Bat Frie. This is Ken Frie talking. I would buy stock in that. I like the people. I like the coffee. I like the product. They need to get fat guy sizes and T-shirts. I get it, though. It's a little bit more expensive for fat guys, which, again, is another topic for another show, why fat people have to pay more. We're already, downtrodden on life because we're fat. Now we got to pay more for clothes. Come on, man. It's one kick after another. Diabetes and everything. Anyway, that's all I got for today's show. Thank you, everybody, for checking out. Thank you for all the comments. I appreciate it. I can't wait to go to bed. I'm kind of wore out here. It's been a long week, and I'm all full of energy right now. But as soon as I shut this little laptop, I'm out. I'm done. I was nodding before I even came on. I'm like, come on, Ken. You slap myself. Wake up, Ken. We got a show to do. I got here. We got through it. We got through it together, I like to say. Eileen, great show. Thank you, Eileen. Be sure to check me out tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., with the post-game show and LA Kings talk. It's been a rough couple of days as a Kings fan, but I'll talk about that more tomorrow. And also we have the Atomic Drop podcast. Got to double check with my boy Cowboy Dave, see if we'll do it Friday night or Saturday night. I'll get back to everybody on that one. I'll let you guys know tomorrow morning. Check out the Silver and Black Lair tomorrow morning so you know when the wrestling podcast is going to be on. There we go. So that's it for me. Thank you, everybody, for checking the show out. Much appreciated. And let me get that on the right screen here so I can get the hell out of here. I don't want to mess it up. There it is. All right. Tonight, go Raiders, right? All right. Just win, baby. See you guys later. Raider Nation out.